Welcome to Introduction to Business 121 800 series offered by the College of Lake County. My name is Dr. George Mochocki, and this is in conjunction with Blackboard Course Management System. Well, this week is going to be week 3. We'll be covering chapter 6, 7, and 8. So let's see what we have. You already know the routine. Nothing changes. I think now our class is doing pretty good. We've got all our stragglers are up and running. Make sure you always, real quick overview. Always do your connect assignments. It's not for every chapter, but the points will be the same. Make sure you always do the Blackboard quizzes that's assigned. Those are one-time deal. Connect assignments or Learn Smart as many times as you want till you get the full points or the due date comes in. Make sure you go into the forum and understand the forums. You got to be active in the forum. Come on, those are easy points. The forums to get you to write better, to communicate online, and similar to like a virtual office that you'd be familiar with at work. Okay, so we have that. So make sure you do the quiz at the forum, and you should do good. I think this week we have. Let's see, we're gonna go on week 3. So what do we got covering this week? I'm clicking in here because I'm live on here. You got this YouTube you're listening to. Look at the overview. The overview is going to tell you everything that we're going to be doing this week. So this week, if I look at the overview, let's see what we have. We're going to be reading chapter 6 is on entrepreneur. Chapter 7 is on business management. And chapter 8 is on organization. What I want you to start to get used to, and let me just get back in here into the week. What I want you to start getting used to is to utilize these concept maps. If you look in Blackboard, to the left-hand side, I have right on here, it's a mind maps, concept maps by Dr. Mead, by the chapters. These will help you out. So if I'm looking at this week's chapter 6, entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is an extension of, you're going to learn a lot about your entrepreneur either through Connect or through the quizzes or through the reading. But entrepreneurship is an extension of last week, different types of businesses. Only different from an entrepreneur is in a small business, they're all self-starters, they're all have to be motivated. The only difference is an entrepreneur has never been done before. If I have a hot dog stand and I buy it from somebody else, I'm a small business owner because I already got the customers, I have a general idea, I put my twist to it, but everything else isn't there. I have the information. If I open up my own hot dog stand and didn't buy it from me, there's 1,000 hot dogs out there, different hot dogs, Patel, 7-Eleven. Now I'm considered an entrepreneur. I have no track record. I have no customer base. I have to go from everything else. I got to create everything from you. Now, down the road, after I'm running for a while, then I become a small business because now after 1 year, I already know what's going on. But what will happen is out of my hot dog stand, I want to open up a pizza place with the hot dog stand. So now I'm an entrepreneur because my new product line is the same thing like you're doing for your research topic. You're either going to be opening up a new business, you're going to be opening up a new product line or extension, or you're going to be modifying the product line, but targeting it to different customer markets. So you have to find out a lot about the customer. So, okay, so you have this entrepreneur. Now if you're looking at your business or your expertise, what kind of individual, what kind of entrepreneur spirit will the manager or the change agent is going to be needed to make sure this thing becomes going forward? So that's entrepreneurship. The next chapter you're going to have in here is going to be on leadership. If I look at anything else, some are born leaders, some are trained leaders, some don't even know they're a leader. Some, it depends on where you are at the stage of your own growth and your own maturity if you want to be a leader. But down the road, if you're in a medium or larger company, you have to have some sort of leadership position if you want to move up in the organization. If I am an entrepreneur or a small business owner, I am naturally a leader. I have to be a leader. Not only a leader to get things done myself, time management, everything else, but as my business grows and I hire more people, I have to make those decisions. I have to say who does what. I have to look at everything else. So when you look at the leadership, you're going to talk about different decision making, a rational model. When we make decisions as a consumer, we make it a lot of times on pricing and emotion. Now I have to make decisions as a leader, as a business owner or a manager. I no longer could put the emotions in there. I have to have rational idea. What makes the best sense? Emotionally, I might say, well, I don't think this is right, unless it has something to do with is unethical or something against the company's mission statement with the social responsibility. I have to look at the rational and say, hey, this makes sense, and I'm going to go forward. And as far as probability and statistics comes in, it just gives me what is the probability that something is going to happen. What kind of skills do I know? You're going to talk about natural leader skills. Because if you look at the different skills, if you look at President Obama, we've never had an African American president. It always was a white male. Now President Obama broke that glass ceiling, and now when I look at if I just look at traits, we would never consider President Obama because he wouldn't have the traits that we would look at previous presidential candidates for the in the U.S. In the United States. Now that President Obama is an African American president, now when I look at different natural traits, I have no problems. Or the future generations say, hey, his accomplishment is there. But we've never had a woman president yet. So we'll see if Miss Clinton down the road will run. I mean, there's a lot of countries, India, Britain, Germany, all have women presidents or premier ministers or whatever. But if you look at, or kings, or you're right, but they still could be, that has nothing to do because women leaders lead differently than male leaders. What you're going to find out, most men are more of aggressive and everything else. Women are more team building, more nurturing. And what happens in business, I need both male attributes, for lack of better words, and a female, the team building and nurturing, all those together. Whether I'm a man, a male a supervisor, or a female supervisor, I have to be able to utilize all so I am a good leader. So you're going to find that different types of leader, autocratic leaders on the way out, participative leader, what kind of skills do I need, what's empowerment, how much do I empower my employees. As part of leadership, because I'm giving away some of my power, I'm letting the employees make their own decisions, measuring success, and how do I build teams. So part of leading is how to build teams. The last chapter here, which you'll be doing, instead of a connect, you'll be doing a Learn Smart. The Learn Smart is an integrative software, and that's where 25 points you got to set for 30-35 minutes, may take you about an hour to do. Don't wait till the last minute. This is, part of the whole thing is not to just take a quiz and you don't understand any information. Introduction to Business. This course here, all these different chapters are all full subject matters you'll be taking if you're going for management, business, marketing, or any kind of other courses within the business, management, finance, or accounting field. But what you'd have to understand is that you have to have a good, solid foundation. That's why the Connect, the software, is so you won't remember all this, but you at least will know how the parts connect. That's what the research product and everything is all in there. So remember, you have to understand this it's like you can't do geometry, trigonometry, finite math, or calculus or statistics if you don't know how to add with 2 and 2, if you don't know a basic math. So this is a basic class, and this is a foundational class, and that's why you're doing so much work to understand this, so you know how all the pieces come together. So when you take marketing, I understand how it's a relationship to HR. I know how it's a relationship to advertising. I know it's a relationship to management. All right, so we have that. So you're going to learn on this one here. So you look at Henry Floyd, would have a small business nonprofit. Look at the unity of command, hierarchy, authority. Very rigid. Look at structuring an organization, because right now, as a small business or structure, let me know what kind of operation it is in your research product. If it's a company, I know you'll be structuring by functionality. If you're a small business and open another thing, you basically, an individual may be having several different responsibilities or several different functions that he or she is responsible. Remember, as an entrepreneur, small business, all these chapters, you will have to be the expert, or at least know how they go together, because this is what this whole book is. All these chapters is what makes the business operate. Okay, look at different types. Look at restructuring, reengineering. What's the grapevine? Grapevine is good. You can never get rid of it, but it's a way to informal communication that, as a manager, you should be able to put into that grapevine so that you understand. Look at formal, informal organizational cultures. Let's see, do I have everything? How to departmentize. Look at span of control. Remember, as a manager, when I was in the corporate role, I may have 400 people that work for me. Do I manage all 400? No. I have maybe 10 or 15 direct reports, and they have 10 or 15 direct reports, and those 10 or 15 direct reports may have the 10 or 15 team members that actually do the work. So it all comes up to the top. So remember, so my span of control is what I could control now, and that span of control, as a small business owner or entrepreneur, you may only have they have 5 employees. As you grow, you're gonna have to bring another person, because you can't control all of them, because now it's more different kind of disciplines, and it depends how well trained your employees are and everything else you're going to learn in this chapter. All right, so that covers the 3 chapters. The forms are the forms, you're going to do 2 assessments. One is excuse me, I forgot what the forms are going to be. Before you do the forms, you're going to go into the forms. You're going to do two assessments. The first assessment is going to see, do you have entrepreneur skills? And remember, the entrepreneur skills, even if you're not open up a business, the entrepreneur skills are the same skills you need as a manager and everything else. You're a self-starter, risk taker, and everything else. The other one is what it would be your preference. Let's say you're not going to go into the business and entrepreneur, but I'm going to go into corporate or medium company. What kind of structure do I want? Do I want a real rigid structure, or do I want a more what do you call it? The organic structure. Rigid structure is mechanistic, like a machine. Bureaucratic doesn't change, but I know everything has happened. Organic structure is like a flower that grows and it adjusts and it depends on what's going on with the environment. Most companies are more organic and they have some parts of it that's very rigid, the rules and policies and everything else, the laws and requirements. But a lot of things to be successful in this environment that's so flexible, so fluid, this global environment, you have to be more of an organic, more of a non-rigid type of structure. Okay, so that's your, so look at those two assessments. You take a point, you put it in there, see which one makes sense for your research project, and make sure you talk back and forth. Do not always wait for me to communicate back to you. Part of the forums, like in the internet, you're part of this team. You start talking, you start helping each other. I'm on the outside looking in. I'll jump in, I'll chime in, and at the end, I'll see how interactive and what kind of quality, what kind of support, how you communicate at the business level and the college level, and we should be good. So remember, this week I think you have 75 points. You're doing well. Remember, it's a condensed class, so you're covering a lot of chapters. You had the first 8 weeks off, so you're getting the same credits and everything else as someone that will be taking this in the 16-week course that I'm teaching now, and you're doing it in 8 weeks. So again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Introduction to Business 800 series, offered online by the College of Lake County in conjunction with Blackboard Course Management System, and I'll see you in the forum. Have a nice day. Bye. Oops, there we go.